I'm so grateful for everybody who's joining today, whether it's a morning or afternoon where you are. This is going to be a fast and fun 30 minutes. I hope you're able to give it full attention. It's also going to be interactive. And in fact, I want to start by asking a question. And the question is, what decisions have you made in the last 24 hours? So think about the decisions you've made in the last 24 hours. A lot of them have probably been mundane daily decisions. For example, what am I going to eat for lunch? What should I watch on TV? Maybe you planned a work meeting and had to decide where it was going to be and whom to invite. Now, let's pause and stop looking back and start looking forward. And I want you to ask, what decisions will you make in the next year? Think about that. Now, those might be some larger frame decisions. Maybe you need to think about your job, whether it's the right job or you want to change. Or maybe your kids are in a school and you think about changing that, or you want to change school. Maybe you need to deal, like some of us, with elder care and how to make decisions to care for the older loved ones in your life. Now, the point is not to stress you out with raising these topics, but just to highlight that we make a lot of decisions. In fact, making decisions is one of the key things that we do as people. You could even simplify your value, your proposition, what you do and what you bring into a few buckets. One, the things you know, your knowledge. Two, the skills you have, the things you do. And then third, the decisions you make. But I think what's happening, particularly in the marketplace, is this is changing. It's migrating because the knowledge that we have is more available than it was before. We have the internet and all knowledge is pretty much instantly available. So that's becoming sort of less important relatively. And then the skills that we have are still important, but because of globalization, we have access to skills from people all over the world. So I'd argue that in the mix of things, decision-making is becoming more important than it ever has been. And then you add to that that we as a generation have more choices before us than anybody who's ever lived at any time in the world before, in terms of what we do with our lives, where we live, what we eat, what we wear, where we go, all sorts of decisions. The point here is a pretty simple one, that making decisions is an important part of our lives. And that brings me to the first poll question. So Becky's going to open this up, and it's a simple question, just a yes, no. Have you ever had any formal instruction in decision making? So Becky will open that up and you can enter, and then we'll share results in just a minute. But the question is, did you ever take a class? Did you ever, in an academic setting or maybe training at work, formal instruction how to make decisions? So
and these answers are coming in pretty fast, Jack. I'm going to give people just a few more seconds.
Yeah, let's wait 5 more seconds and give us the tally, Becky.
I absolutely will. All right, so I'm going to share those results. It looks like 69% of you have never had any formal instruction in decision making, and that is going to change today. And 31% of you have had instruction in decision making.
Well, that's great. 31% is actually a little higher than I would have guessed, so that's a good number. And of course, what we're saying is that better decision making is a worthy pursuit. That's what we're after today. And I want to first affirm the decision you made to join us on this webinar. And I see about 150 people are on right now and more joining, so that's wonderful. Good decision to be here. My promise for you is that in the next 25 minutes, you'll be better equipped to make decisions, and specifically that you'll know how to see certain traps that pop up in the decision-making process and then how to avoid them. So that's what we're after today. I'm going to start with a story. And it's a story about when I worked in procurement at a large financial services company.